say I've been getting tatted. They say they like my ink, yeah, I say that I'm flattered. They ask me where I've been, I say I've been getting tatted. On a regular, decorations in my body, I can't get enough.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go over the top 5 items that I believe you must change on your M54 engine before 100,000 miles, and this is crucial to keeping that engine running perfectly and to not let it get into a failure point, which could be even a head gasket failure if you leave it to get into bad shape, and also piston ring failure. These are the things that need to be replaced, and I mean that you would have seen on my videos as well, which will be linked all above, showing you all the repairs I've done on this car and all the same. And this car was on 150k when I purchased it. So let's get onto the car. So guys, we're gonna go over the top 5 parts that I believe need to be replaced at 100k, and it's a must, immediate must. So the first one I'm going to tell you that needs to be replaced immediately if your cars are approaching 100k is your water pump and thermostat and the fan clutch all together. Replace it all as a set, because it's going to come off anyway, so replace it. Do not put the old fan clutch back on, because if that gives up, what will happen is your car will overheat. So replace them all together, because they like to fail and it will cause this car to overheat. You don't want this engine to overheat, because it will end up pulling out the head bolts, which in turn will destroy your head gasket, and then that'll be it. You'll need a new engine. The next one I advise doing at 100k guys is the coolant reservoirs we spoke about in the previous video. These things like to crack, and I've seen it myself on this car. Replace it. They're not expensive, and it's cheap maintenance for what it's going to save you if that ends up blowing and you don't realize on the motorway or highway. Change that reservoir immediately and get that changed as well. But maybe it will even go before 100k. It just depends on how well the car's been looked after. Just make sure you change that. The next one guys I'm going to speak about is to change your Vanos seals and the valve cover, because this will start leaking probably even before 100k. This will start leaking and you'll see it, and you'll also better off change your Vanos seals while you're there as well. The Vanos seals will cause you to get a lot more power from the engine and return it back to like it was from factory. With them having issues and running very bad and leaking oil past the seals are like a plastic groove, so they're very crappy and they wear down over time. It's something I recommend doing, because this car's made so much more power since I've changed them compared to what it did when I bought it. Like I said, changing everything was a must for me, and like I said, there's another item that I really recommend changing on this car and get it over and done with, because it's another 100k item you won't have to worry about, and the car will make back a lot more power. Anyone who's got a car that's feeling low down, change them and your car will come back to fully restored power. The next one I recommend changing guys is the disc valve. Now this one was changed before I bought it, so I got very lucky, but they like to fail, and that can cause your loss of power as well, and that's very important for the torque curve, for the manifold, and obviously the runners, for the amount of air. So it's very important. The same as the M52, without that you lose your torque. Then the same with the Vanos seals, you lose that as well. You lose the power as well between the two of them. So it's very important that you change that. You can check it by taking it off and holding your finger over the vacuum hole, which is here right at the back of the manifold. Just hold your finger over it when you take it out on the disc valve and see if it stays closed or stays open. Then you'll know if it's bad or working. So just make sure you change that one as well. The two of them respond together to make the power for the car. And the last one guys that I recommend doing is the CCV. Now these crack like to leak, as I spoke about in my previous video. It's very important that you get this changed at 100k. Without a shadow of a doubt, you change that, because they do crack, and if they start leaking oil, that can also destroy the valve cover. Usually that's the sign of the valve cover's gone when the CCV's gone, because as I've told you but previously on the M52, it causes excess pressure here, which ends up popping the valve cover in it, because all it's doing is pushing pressure up to lift the crankcase up, which causes it in turn to go past the seals, which can damage your piston rings, will damage everything on the cylinder, and this engine is known for piston ring failure. So don't leave it. Go and get the CCV changed and rectify the issue before it ends up 10 times worse. Change it over, and it's safe peace of mind. You can always get it all done, and then you'll know you won't have to do it again. But those are the top 5 items that I 100% recommend changing on this car immediately when you get it, because they're very crucial for this engine. Okay guys, so you would have just seen there, I've just gone over the top 5 items that must be replaced on your M54 engine at 100,000 miles. It is important these are done. These are the most important ones you can actually do on this engine that are crucial for power and to make sure there's no oil leaks on them either. So if you go and address all these issues that I've spoken to you about on this video, your engine will run again for another 100k without failures, and you will never have to remove the manifold again to get to anything if you do everything now. The only other things you'll have to do is all the minor little jobs, which will be the throttle body boots, as spoken previously in my previous video, which are very easy to get to and very easy to rectify as well. But get all these jobs done and you won't have to worry about it again for another 100k. So if you are new here, please make sure you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. There will be more M54 videos coming up shortly as well. This is BMW Dr. Tine. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.